been a designer for a while, maybe a freelancer or someone who even works in an agency and does work on the side, there's always this question, and I realized this question when I was on Clubhouse. How many revisions should we give our clients? How do we stick to that? This video is brought to you by Ginger Sauce. To learn how to make a branding guideline book very easily, stick around to the end of the video. Revisions and amendments are the bane of some designers. They absolutely hate it when they get revisions and amendments. And in this video today, I'm hopefully going to explain to you our process in our design agency as to how we rarely have to do full-scale revisions. In fact, I don't think we've ever had to do a full-scale revision of a branding project, and how you can work out your state of revisions, how you can have it in your contract, and basically how you can stick to it. So number one, the biggest rule is to not have unlimited revisions. You'll see some designers, even professionals, who have unlimited revisions until the client is happy with the logo. Now, this is kind of a strange thing to do, because technically when you give them unlimited revisions, you're saying for the amount of money that they've given you for the commission of this logo design or branding project, that they can just start messing you around forever. So unlimited revisions really mean that the client can continually ask you to revise, or they don't have to pay you. Now, if you're a designer, I would always suggest to have a level of revisions in a contract. And beyond that, you need a contract. You can call it a contract or a statement of work. Basically, it's a piece of paper that's formal to show the client your expectations of them, how much you'll work, what they can expect from you, who owns the files, and how long the scope of work is going to take. And specifically, how many full-scale revisions that are needed. For us, we do 3 full-scale revisions depending on the client. If the client is a big one where we have a lot of budget to play with and there's a lot of people working on it, maybe we would extend that. So standardizing the actual revisions and the scopes of work that you guys should be doing, you should be looking at about 2 to 3 revisions. There's some people who do 1 revision, which is absolutely fine, but I like to make sure that the client feels safe, knowing that if something is wrong, that we will fix it, and third time lucky, we'll fix it. Luckily for us, we've never had to do this, and I'm going to explain why. Having to revise a full logo means that you have a complete misunderstanding of the brief and the market, and you haven't done your research. For me as a designer here in the agency, it's important that I do the research, not only me, but the people like Naomi that I work with. People need to know who we're working for, what industry they're in, and what they're looking for. And basically, the client might know what they want and what they're looking for, but we have to disregard what they want and give them what they need, and what we can design for them is based upon their needs. So the way that we don't really work on full-scale revisions, but only small amendments throughout the process, is by communication. Every week or two, when I'm working with a client, I always want to show them face-to-face on a video call or on a video like a screen capture, the concepts that I have, and I'm going to create a presentation. There's a video about presentations that I'll link down below if you want to learn more about branding presentations. And in this branding presentation, I'm showing them the sort of process of how I work and how I got to the place that I am. Now, the first presentation that I give is always a concept presentation. I never use the word logo, and I always warn the client that, obviously this is just concepts, they're not logos, so don't freak out. I say it a bit better than that though. As I'm presenting my ideas to them, I take them on a journey, a story of what I found, and it's more like search and discovery of what I found out and how I can meet their goals. The way to do this is simply look at the goals of the company. What did they write in the brief? And I'll meet those goals, and not just for logo design, but full brand identity. So that's all the assets around it. It could be letterheads, it could be a web mock-up. All of these things I will look at and create the logo and the branding around the goals. And I will present concepts which are rough versions of the logo or different ideas. So I'll present about 2 or 3 different ideas from a sketchbook of 50 sketched ideas during my ideation stage. Obviously before that, there's a lot of research and mood boarding going on, but during the presentation stage, it's important to show them what you've done and what you found, even logos that you don't like, and explaining why. So when you're doing this presentation, you can gauge the client. You can work out whether their body language is showing that they're on board with this logo or this concept or this direction. And the way that I do this is I never ask them if they like it. Sounds like a bit of a strange thing to do, but I don't show them the logo and say, do you like it? And there's a few reasons for this. Number one, if I said, do you like it? You're inviting an emotional response. Liking something is subjective. It's very subjective. It's not an objective thing. Not everyone likes the same thing. Now, if I make it subjective, I am praying that he will like the design. So instead, I do what other designers do, such as Cole, which I'll link down below, Ian Pageant, down below again. Instead of saying, do you like it? I say, is this suitable for your brand? And that question has only two answers, yes and no. And you should know the answer to it already. And if they say no, maybe you've not explained to them your process, or maybe you've got it flat out wrong, which can happen. But the great thing about this is that when they say yes or no, you can gauge them whether they're on the same direction with you. From this point, I will take any criticism or feedback on board, but the main goal of that meeting is to solidify the direction of the brand, which means the general feeling of the designs that I've given. I will show them really bad sketches sometimes, or even just like really quickly mocked up logos or concepts, should I say. And if they like the direction, I will carry on going there. Now, what this does is it means that if I have to make an amendment, it's not halfway down the line. I don't have to wait until I'm presenting the final one and the client says, I don't like it. I have done this with the client in collaboration, so the revisions are there. I want to be in such communication with the client that I become sort of part of their company, that I know the company inside and out, what their goals are, what they're trying to achieve with this new rebrand. But in the contract that we have with every client is that we have a scope of 3 revisions and also a statement of work, which is a scope of work, to stop any scope creeping happening when a client keeps asking for revisions. Now, when this does happen, it's great to have a contract because you can say no. But what if the client really doesn't like the logo? What if you've done everything correct and throughout the process, every presentation meeting that you've given, they said, yeah, we like this design, and then they turn around when they go to the board of directors and they say they don't like it? Well, unfortunately, you can say, okay, that's it. You can terminate the relationship, which is perfectly fine. I think that's the thing to do. I don't think you should bend over backwards again to design something else without charging them again and starting the project from anew. Now, there's a group of you that will have been in a position where no matter what changes you make to the logo, they're never happy with it. And I've found, in my experience over years and years, the reason why. And generally, the reason why is because you've gone with the client's idea. So they've had this idea of having this like circle and a square amalgamated together with the letter T in it, and it looks awful, but they can see it in their mind and they say, I just want them to design this. What's going to happen is you're sort of guessing at what they want. You've done no research. So anything that you do, they will never be happy with. So they're going to keep asking for revisions. The way to stop this is by meeting the client before the project starts, after they've paid, or even before they've paid, which is what we do. We meet with them first before we take on the project and explain to them in a friendly manner, but also firmly, that we aren't producers. We do not just produce logos or identities, we design them for you. So we are in depth with it. Before I go any further, I just want to thank the amazing sponsor for this video today, Ginger Sauce. Ginger Sauce is a professional online brand book builder. I've been talking recently about upping your game as a designer, and this doesn't just mean upping your game in how you design logos, but it's how you present them to clients. And a lot of you guys spend hours and hours on brand books and use templates for that, and it's just unnecessary time. Well, Ginger Sauce allows you to create a professional brand book in minutes, and I am genuinely excited to show you this today. You simply upload your logo to Ginger Sauce, choose the colors exactly, show the logo uses, misuses, how they should use the logo, not use the logo. You can upload assets like mock-ups that you've used and the color choices and everything, and they're all in this amazing template that you can send to the client at the end, and boom, there you go. You've basically grabbed back hours of your time that would have otherwise have been wasted. Ginger Sauce is very reasonably priced at $9 a month, but Ginger Sauce have been so kind to us guys here on the channel, and they're giving us a 10% discount for all of my subscribers. For a 10% discount, use the promo code GingerWill10. Kind of ginger. The link is in the description for any of you that are interested. Believe me, you'll save so much time. So, how do I do zero revision work? Do the revisions along the way. Don't leave it to the last minute. If you've got an idea, make sure you present it to them formally in a nice presentation. Sell the idea. If it works, don't sell them and manipulate them, because that's never going to look good on you. Our goal is to make businesses more money. That's the idea. So do it along the way. If you have enjoyed this video, thank you very much. If you want to learn more about this, we're starting to do more professional videos. So things aimed at you guys who are professionals that have been in the industry for a while. If you're new to design, make sure you check out more of my videos about the beginner stuff, so like the tutorials. And if you're an experienced designer or a professional designer, feel free to subscribe as well. We'll be bringing out content this year dedicated to professionals. So how I went from freelance all the way to an agency to creative director. How did I do that? What can you do to do that? Also by upping your game in the design realm on your portfolios. There's so much content out there for us to bring to you. So press that red subscribe button. If you've watched this far of the video, you're an absolute legend. So all you have to do down below in the comments is write the word banana, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.